One thing that's really important to do to help transform the culture is actually talk about the things that are happening that are good things. Angel Studios, of course, has been doing a lot. They got very viral with The Sound of Freedom a couple of years back, and they've been coming out with movie after movie doing some good work, and it's very nice to actually see something come out in the theaters that the whole family was interested in seeing yesterday. My 12-year-old son is actually very into football right now, and so he's watching every football movie ever. They get kind of old after a second, but I saw that there was one out in theaters, and I saw that it was Angel Studios, and it had, of course, Mike Chiklis in it, which is a great thing to have in there. And that is something that we wanted to see. And it ended up pretty good, guys. This is the modern-day Rudy story, and it's a true story about a 59-year-old who goes back and tries to do his senior year of college over so that he actually can play football one last time. It's really heartwarming. It's really good, and let's get into the review of the film. My name's John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you're new here. Really appreciate it. And this is the senior, and so I'm hoping I can play clips in the background right now and actually be okay with it. This is from the press kit on there, so it should, in theory, be okay with YouTube's policies. But as you can see, we got Mike Chiklis, and he is trying to relive his dreams. At the beginning of the movie, you see that he's a good man, a hothead with a penchant for trouble. He tends to get into fights even within his late years. He's into boxing, which comes from a traumatic youth where his father would quite literally box him and demand he not flinch or react in a misguided attempt to toughen him up. The experience is shown to have colored his whole existence, and it led to a fateful day in 1970 when he beat up a teammate in a fight and got expelled from the university prior to his senior year. He's not down on his luck or completely out like a lot of the underdog stories. He seems to have a good career. He's got a good family, but something's just missing from his life, and he sees that. He's an everyman here who's trying to do good in the world, and sometimes he goes about it the wrong way. He's got a loving wife, got his family, of course, but he's disconnected from his own son, Micah, who rejected Flint's style of aggressiveness. And that tends to be a plot point throughout that just escalates over the entire thing, and it causes a lot of problems. So as it goes on, he gets this flyer for a college reunion, which he immediately throws in the trash, but his wife sees it, and she thinks that it's going to be good for him to actually go out and go to this college thing, reunion sort of deal. And of course, there is a scene where he beats up a guy in college. You see it earlier. And then you go back and you see what happens at the college reunion. He actually has an awkward moment with the guy there, and they both apologize and kind of move forward. And this is where he realizes he kind of has to change his life and actually get into a spot where he's going to be a little bit better. So as he goes there, he decides, and over some beers, that he's going to try out for the football team. It's crazy, but he does it anyway. So the first half of the film is basically him trying out for the football team. And I can't help but think of the movie Rudy, of course, a classic football movie that everybody loves, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, where Rudy is just giving his all, even though he doesn't have the physical prowess to do it. He's just going to go out there and just work his tail off to make it his dream happen. And this is exactly sort of that scenario, though it's with a much older gentleman who has a lot of football prowess and actually is good at football, but he's got the odds of being 59 stacked against you. Kind of reminds me of Tom Brady keeping playing when he was 45 years old, which was really, really difficult, and all the extreme things he had to do to keep his body in shape just to survive every week. It's a tough thing, and I can't imagine, I'm 43 myself, even attempting to play football for real at this point. So I can only imagine how this must have been for this real life story of this real Flint guy who actually did this, which this is based off of. So he goes into training, and of course he starts playing, and as he does so, it seems like he's going to make it, and we're going to have that sort of football story where you watch a bunch of football games and all that. Nope, it's much more like Rudy, where he doesn't really play, and he has a problem. He gets really injured to where he can't even lift his arm, and that actually just hurts his dreams for a little bit of a time there, and he can't do too much about that. So as that goes on, you can see as he's trying to retrain and get himself back out there and get the doctor to clear him once again, it's a deal where he tries to get things going and actually work on the team again. Now, he gets a heartfelt moment with all of these teammates, as we've got in the clip right here. You can see just how this is. This guy gets injured as well, and Flint's like, look, I'm 59. I'm getting back out there. Just work hard and you can get back out there as well. He has most of his teammates on his side, but there is one who causes him a problem and is like, this is just a publicity stunt and stupid that you're out here and you're wasting all of our time as it goes along. Now, the main plot points, though, are more about his personal life and his dealing with his trauma from his father, and then how he's passed that on to, of course, not having a good relationship with his son. That escalates to the point where he's so committed to this and he's so stubborn and singular-minded that he puts his family relationships aside, and those family family relationships are really the drama of the movie that pays off towards the end. Now, there's a good message here, of course. He uncovers that his father actually turned to a Christian before he died, and that inspires him to do so as well, and inspires him to become a better man. And he actually does work to become a better man and a better father over the course of this. This is very wonderful messaging and masculine stuff, and it doesn't overwhelm the movie. The points of the messaging are really not stuff that like causes problems through any of this that throws you out of the movie whatsoever. So naturally, it goes on, and we see, of course, he gets into the game at the very end, the last quarter, the last minute. It's very much like I said, very similar to Rudy in that regard. And there is a nice twist for the ending on how they do it, because I was looking, I'm like, how are they actually going to do this where it's not the exact same thing, where it just like feels really, like the same as every other football movie. And they managed to play it. And of course, what's interesting on this is a true story, and this is something that they introduced it as a true story. They had the actual Flint giving an introduction to the movie, and of course talking about it afterwards. And it's pretty neat as you see the clips on here as it goes through. He was invited to the set, and very, very good. The acting's excellent. I'd say that Chiklis does a wonderful job. He definitely feels like the character, so it works out very, very well. The coach is great, and what's interesting is when you see clips of the coach, they do a pretty good job of making him look like the coach and everything from the actual deal. The wife does a wonderful job as well, and of course his teammates are excellent throughout the whole deal. I'd say there's one moment, there's like a younger daughter. He's got 3 kids, and the younger daughter feels a little stilted at points when they're interacting, and that's like the one like spot where like I'd say the acting didn't measure up all the way. But overall, it is a phenomenal movie. It kept pace really, really well. It kept your interest the entire time. It's just like you are sitting there, and as these people are saying, he's crazy for doing this, like he's going to get himself killed. Like you kind of are like, yeah, that is actually crazy, and he is actually going to get himself killed by doing this. And you're hoping that this is like going to have a nice ending, and not something where it's like, oh gosh, he's going to get just completely taken out, just by getting hit once, because he is 59 years old in this whole endeavor. So there is that drama that looms over it. The father-son relationship resolves very, very nicely as he deals with his own failure of a relationship with his father, and actually resolves that. So a lot of good personal plot stuff that goes on that builds with it. I would say my wife does not like football or is not interested in football, but she actually was crying like throughout the end of this movie and loved it because those moments hit so hard. My son loved it because he does love football and he saw how fun it was, and I loved it because it was like a very excellently written story. So there's a little something for everybody in the family in this, which is a great thing, and that means Angel Studios has definitely succeeded in the senior as a movie goes along. So this is great stuff right here. I do recommend it. I hope you guys will check it out. And yes, this is like a 10 out of 10 football movie. If you enjoy football movies, you are going to absolutely love this one. I think it works really well, and definitely just keeps pace with Rudy as that classic movie goes. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll be back soon.